This is The Random Whisper.
What was the point of that? So
I
did
don't
you
fucking
press record? Are we going? Are we live?
Yes.
Are we recording?
Numbers
you
are moving.
sure? Okay.
Numbers are
you
moving.
Yes. Because to record, you have to play the play green button.
Yep.
Play green button.
Welcome back to the land. The land. Welcome back to the Random Whisper.
That was also loud and it scared me.
It was.
It's okay.
No.
No, your ears will be hurt, not the audiences.
Oh, thank you.
I got the master at -6
Ooh.
decibels.
Negative.
I am your host, Legs.
I am your host, Jay.
I am your host, Abby.
This is the end of year podcast, or as cool people call it, last potty.
The last potty.
I'm not going to say that
Why not?
because
Why not?
If Abby says it in British, will you say it potty?
she's going to say it in perfect British,
Let's go, Abby. Shine.
not Cockney British.
The last potty.
Let's get straight to it. You guys got to watch The Wife,
Which was another recommended film from our Patreons.
Joss. It was released in 2017, directed by Jorn Runge or Runge. I like Runge better.
It's probably Ringo.
The writers, the screenwriter was Jane Anderson, adapting it from the book written by Meg Willits. The main actors were Glenn Close, Jonathan Pryce, and Chris Slater. Take it away, guys.
Chris
And it
Slater? It's
is-
Christian Slater.
I'd like to call him
Okay.
Chris.
I don't think he goes by
He's on a
Chris.
first name basis, okay?
He doesn't play golf with him.
Nobody plays
No,
golf
I
with
carry-
anybody.
I don't
Golf
play with
is a
him. I
boring
carry-
sport.
His golf clubs, okay?
Anyways.
Anyway, so to you, it's Mr. Slater.
Yeah.
You carry his
you
golf
know.
clubs.
You're a caddy.
He
so
bought me.
it
He
is
bought
Mr.
me a
Slater.
lemonade once, so
Oh, what a
Yeah.
great dude.
I'll be like, "Hey, yo,
Anyway.
see us."
Anyway, this movie won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
I thought it was
Glenn-
best performance and as
I
a
thought I don't know. I'm summarizing. It won an Oscar
best
for
female performance.
So who's the
Female-
protagonist? Is that
the
Jonathan
Glenn Close.
Pryce?
No, Glenn Close.
Glenn Close.
Oh, so she didn't win.
No, she won the award.
She won.
So she's a supporting actor.
No, so, I don't know. I can't. I'm
Female. She won the best female actor,
Gotcha.
probably.
Actress,
I think it's either
yes.
actress or lead.
one of it.
One, yeah.
But she won.
Do you think she deserved it?
Yes, I think she did a very good job
It was very.
as in acting. I think the movie overall could have been way better.
Yeah, the movie was bad, but like her performance, because she had to do this brooding emotion throughout the film, to where at the end, everything came to a front.
Well, let me, because you didn't watch it, I'll summarize like kind of what it was. It's so like there's this dude, and he won the Nobel Prize for literature, and it follows this couple as they go through like accepting the award, and it kind of goes back in time to like how they first met. He was her professor, and she was showing him her writing, and then they felt like had an affair, and he left his wife for her, and now they're old, like an old couple. They've been married for years, and he's written so many like works, and she hasn't written anything, and it just like is revealed throughout the movie that he actually didn't write anything. She wrote everything, and he edited it, but like because she was like a female writer in like the late 50s, like she realized that she would never be published or read because she was a female, so everything was done under, she willingly was like, yeah, I'll write everything and you publish it under your name. And then it became like, he won a Nobel Prize for it. And at the end of the movie, she just kind of realizes she's like, well, I won the award. You didn't do anything, and I can't live this lie anymore. And then at the very end of the film, spoiler to anybody who really wanted to watch this, he dies of a heart attack because they're like fighting. She's like, I want to get a divorce. I can't do this anymore. And he kind of like has a heart attack and he dies.
Is this based on a true story?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't say anywhere in the film that it is. So
But-
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good plot.
I feel like it's a great plot. It's a great story. The acting was really good. I feel like the camera work could have been loads better to make it really amazing. I don't know.
There were very simple shots.
There was very slow in part of it. I feel like they
God,
could have
yes.
edited it in a way to make it more exciting.
The Christian Slater character is a biographer who's trying to do a biography on the male, the winner of the Nobel Prize, the husband.
Okay.
And so he like slyly starts talking to her and then reveals the one theory that because he did his research and he read her old collegiate stories, and then knowing what his writing style is versus her writing style, he was like, yeah, I really think that you wrote these, and so then I think that kind of sparks the truth being out there, and it gives her that gumption to actually quit living the lie, because as soon as that happens, like, you can tell the emotion in her face is like she's starting to brood, like, really, like, is it him being on the pedestal and should I be instead? It's my Nobel Prize, basically. It's not her or his. So I think Christian Slater is the catalyst, because he also talks to the son and tells the son his theory, and then the son kind of figures it out, and then he's like pissed off at him. It was a weird, it wasn't a triangle, it was a rhombus of like emotion going between four people. But in the end, really, I think Christian Slater was the catalyst. So he was kind of like the opponent, or the ally opponent.
Yeah, overall, I think the acting was very good in this movie.
So it was just the cinematography that got you?
Cinematography could have been way better.
What about you,
That
Jay?
points the story could have been. It was a little bit low.
Oh, and editing, you said.
There was some lulling, yeah. But that, and honestly, I don't think the score really didn't encompass, everything like that was said in the scene from like feeling, you know how music drives the emotional transitions. And to me, the score didn't really do anything for me this time.
Damn.
It was, for me, it's a 2 out of 5 for me, really.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Out of 5, definitely a 2.
Damn.
Sorry to.
Sorry to break that Patreon heart, but
You didn't like it.
it wasn't that great for me. I would not recommend this.
No, it was 2017. So there. I was gonna ask, for its era, was it okay? But no, there's a lot of great films in 2017.
The setting was nice, though. I like the setting.
You just like Christmas Europe.
I do like
So
Christmas.
you're-
Oh my gosh!
You're jaded already.
Because you go to Stockholm, because that's where the Nobel Prize is delivered. But I liked. The hotel that they stayed in. It was very elegant. The colors were weird, like sea green and gold kind of thing. Like for like accents, but the elegance of the hotel they stayed in, I liked it. And the coloring was good, but the camera work really didn't accentuate those colors very well. Like the shots that they chose were very plain and boring, and I know it's probably artistic, but it was boring.
So there's a scene where he's like giving a speech. He's like, they're at like a dinner, like after he had received his prize, and he's giving a speech, and she is coming to the realization of like, I can't live this lie anymore, and I don't want to stay married to you. I don't want to continue to pretend that I'm not a writer. And like, it's very like, there's a shot where like the lighting is like, it's kind of nice because it's like only on her, because he was like, thank you so much to my wife, and so like the light pans over to her,
And they spotlight her.
and so like she's lit up and everybody around her is like dark, and that could have been such an amazing scene, but it was just one static camera from so far away.
They could have did a slow push, and it would have been great, or like a parallaxing pan or something, between the
Or a whip.
candles or something.
Or, anything. It was just one static, like long lens.
Like the whole
camera.
movie was shot on sticks.
So, is this the director's fault? Because I'm seeing that the camera work was bad, and the editing was bad, and in those two, the constant is the director.
Yeah.
I think it's the director. Because like they weren't bad shots, they weren't ugly shots, they weren't bad lit shots. It was just
Boring
a
shots.
dull shot. So and that is director based.
Okay, so you guys want
So
to
I'm
remake
sorry
it?
to the director, Jorn.
I wouldn't recommend it. I think honestly, if they were going for the tone of droll and broody, they hit it on the nail. But it's something that the average viewer who wants some kind of substance to it, they're not going to sit through it.
So you recommend for them to just read the book?
Watch the trailer.
I don't know.
All right.
It was
so
a good story.
you think it
good
should
acting.
be remade?
I would love it to be remade.
It could have been amazing.
It can be.
It can be amazing.
Cool.
Especially with the cast. Like I mean the acting was all on point. There was
Jonathan Pryce did a really good job.
There was never a point that I was like, oh, okay.
The son did a really good job of being a whiny little bitch, because that's what he was the whole time. He was like that angst teenager, mad at mom and dad. Mostly mad at dad for, you don't pay attention to me and you don't give me any, like pat on the back kind of shit, But anybody could play that role.
Must be nice to have a dad.
Okay. Do you want to talk about something?
No.
It's okay. We can have a little
somebody's
mini
feelers are
therapy
pulled out.
session
Well,
right
I'm
here.
glad I was not able to watch that film.
I think you should still watch it though for the experience.
Can I borrow it?
I already put it in the mail because we rented it on DVD Netflix.
But don't you have another one coming?
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
there's another one at my house. I can see if it's still there and give it to you. Actually, because I watched it at your house. Is it still in your mailbox?
My mailman picks up and delivers at probably about 10 or 11.
So it's probably not there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
probably not there.
damn. Sorry, Jose.
Let's
If
talk.
it's still at my house, I'll
Uh,
mail it to you.
Later on, we should talk about how DVD Netflix still exists.
I know.
I watched the film because I wanted to review something that was free-ish technically. I
You
watched.
didn't want to pay money to watch the same movie that our Patreon suggested, and it was all completely his idea to take
It's the
suggestion from
holidays.
Patreon.
We're on a budget. I watched I'm Your Woman. I'm Your Woman 2020.
I'm your Warman.
Directed by Julia Hart, written by Julia Hart and Jordan Horowitz. The main actors were Rachel Brosnahan, Marsha Stephanie Blake, and Ariz Kane. It was a good film.
What was it about?
It's about the wife of a criminal being on the run because his husband did something bad. Pretty much.
So kind of a similar tone to The Wife, where it's about the spouse enduring the fucking husband.
Yeah. And the whole movie's kind of like detective mode because she doesn't know what's going on. No one will tell her. So it's kind of like a detective.
Yeah.
Um,
Detective film.
yeah.
It's a detective film.
Oh God. That's beautiful. Accent.
It's getting worse.
You go, girl.
Good.
You go.
Good.
It was an Amazon Studios film, and it's released in this year. So it was good directing. The acting was really good. New actors that I've never seen before. The protagonist, she was really good. The cinematography was beautiful. There was meaningful shots, but I like that they used a lot of full shots where the characters were in the middle of the shot. It was to show the isolation. So it was really well done. The color grading was well done. This took place around the 70s, late 70s, 60s, 80s, somewhere around there.
60s, 70s, 80s. That's a pretty large. That's a
let's
year range, but okay.
Let's keep it at 70s. It's well paced. It's really good, and it has different ups and downs in the energy emotion level reader thing. So I recommend it. It's really good. The score was really good too. They use score and music, so it was pretty good. And yeah, that's I recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon Studios movie. It was really good. Well, yeah,
So what was your rating then? You would say?
I would give it 3.9 out of 5. It's good.
So decent. So it was a movie or a series?
A movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it came out this year or last year?
Yeah, I think it came out this month, if
Oh,
I'm
okay.
guessing right. But it needed a little bit more flair.
In what way?
It was well paced, but it needed more depth. If that makes depth.
More depth. Not enough people died.
Depth.
Depth.
Depth. Okay, I thought you said depth, and I was like,
Depth. Depth.
depth. You don't need to say depth.
Depth. There you go.
Okay,
But yeah, it was good. I recommend it. You guys.
maybe I'll think about it.
I'm looking at y'all.
If I remember from the point I leave this office to my house, I'll watch it. If I don't, I'll forget it, and I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I make no excuses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, did you guys watch the Mandalorian season finale?
I sure did.
Yes, I did.
How saucy was it?
It's saucy. I don't think it was saucy.
Luke should have never been brought in.
I-
Favreau, you disappointed me.
No, I loved it. I'm not in
The
the
CGI was kind of good.
yeah. Well, they perfected it.
Yeah.
I
So they've done the CGI thing with both Luke and Leia. No.
yeah.
When are they
I
gonna
think
do it
they-
for Han? Well, I fucking know.
Oh.
Why don't they do it for Yoda? Come on, Yoda and Grogu hanging out, eating.
I'm not part of that. Oh, get away from the old stuff and do new stuff kind of school. I like.
I'm surprised that they did it though.
Yeah.
That they
so-
I
went
was
back and
disappointed.
got Luke.
Yeah, I know, because you're like from the old school.
No,
like,
it's not. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm anti-Skywalker. It's that this is a pure story on its own, and they were saying all the Jedis would come find.
no, the Ahsoka Tano said a Jedi.
A Jedi.
Any
Not all
Jedi.
the Jedi.
Right.
The nearest Jedi
But
that's gonna respond.
Why bring Luke back in? Because
How many other
now,
Jedi are there?
Now it's going to bring a lot of different questions, like how come we don't see Grogu or he's mentioned anywhere in the next 3 movies?
He's probably gonna die in the series if they keep going.
No, but I was looking online, and I don't think Grogu is going to be in the series at all ever again.
No,
They're going to move on
But they
from
have
him.
to explain
Because
some way
in the
what
next
happened
three
to him.
in the next 3 movies, Skywalker was the only one that was alive besides Leia. That was Jedi. They had the Force in them. That were actual Jedis. So
But they were trained.
They were-
We'll
That
just
were
say-
trained,
We'll just
yeah.
say we're trained because.
um,
But the thing, what I'm talking about is, this is a story not about Luke Skywalker. This
Yeah.
is a story about a Mandalorian, a lone wolf bounty hunter who befriends another person and grows a father-son kind of bond. And now all of a sudden, it's not a story that stands on its own anymore because now you have the Luke concept coming in.
but
It has nothing for me. I don't really care about the fact that a Mandalorian has to try to train a young Jedi pupil on his powers. That I don't really care about. I would love to see those two tramp across the galaxy on many adventures and do the Mandalorian, explore the Mandalorian side of the Star Wars lore versus, well, okay, I found you here, Jedi. Oh, it's Luke Skywalker, the last Jedi, and then he walks away. It's like, it could have been more pure and left pure without Skywalker in it.
and I guess Ahsoka Tano
I like,
also is a Jedi.
well, yeah, but you don't really, if you haven't watched the
I am.
Clone Wars, if you haven't watched the Clone Wars, you don't really know who that is. Like, I didn't really know. I was like, oh, that's the one, because I'd seen the cartoon, so
Yeah.
I kind of knew who it was. But I was like, oh, it's another Jedi trained person. But you also have Aura Singh out there, who is a warrior that killed Jedi and has the sabers as collections, and she kicks ass.
Who?
She has, it's in the comics and,
Oh,
and all
gotcha.
the stories. But why not bring her in then? I mean, she fights like a Jedi, but she's not a Jedi.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean? It's like, and the fact that Boba Fett, I'm so disappointed in Boba Fett.
I'm as it stands. If they don't continue with like a fucking Skywalker series or whatever, I'm good.
I hope they don't.
I
I
think
don't think they will.
I
hope they
think the point of this season finale and the show as a whole was that Jaren, is that his name?
Jaren.
Is that the Mandalorian's name?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go with Mandalorian.
People
okay.
just call him Mando.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Mando.
I know Jaren's someone else. So I think okay. So let's say Mando, he started as I never take off my mask and I'm all about the mission and the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole show is about him bringing out the emotion and his humanity out of him by stepping away from mission
Mm-hmm.
to, because the mission was like, we'll take this guy to a Jedi or whatever, or his own people or whatever. But then his humanity started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Then he showed his face 2 more times, one in the
death
in
base.
the base, and then again at the end. So I think the whole thing was to bring the humanity out of him, because even Bo-Katan was like, "Oh, look, you're so stiff," and the cult Mandalorian
Mhm.
group, and I think the way they ended it was good. And I don't care if why Grogu wasn't in the Skywalker, the last 3 series.
I want to know. Where's
What?
Baby Yoda?
Oh, I don't
Something
know.
I think it's important.
So something has to happen because we know from the 3 movies that Luke is like scared of like what's his name, Kylo Ren's power, and so he attacks him and then he flees.
It's
Yeah.
the dark
Jedi.
part. He sees the dark
He
side
sees the
of
dark.
it.
So
Yeah.
what happens during? Because I'm sure that like Kylo Ren was training with Baby Yoda at some point because he ages super slow, so he would probably still
was,
be a
yeah.
child by the time
Right.
that Kylo Ren.
There was
is
that
training.
talk in one of the movies that Luke had started a Jedi temple, a new Jedi temple, and was training not just Kylo Ren. He had a
Yeah.
bunch
Yeah.
of students, and the students, or he attacked Kylo attacked the students or something too, and he banished them all, or he quit the temple basically, and or whatever. So I mean, maybe Kylo killed Baby Yoda. I mean,
I don't
this is
know.
pure speculation or the
Yeah.
possibilities. But for me, honestly, the Mandalorian, I really enjoyed the Bo-Katan character.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Katie Sackhoff as an actress. She's great. I've seen her in several different shows. But I liked her idea because she was old school-ish. I hate that term, but old school Mandalorian. That's why the bitterness went between Mando and Bo-Katan, because she's like, well, you know, we take off our masks because that's what true Mandalorians do. We don't hide behind the helmet. And he's like, whoa, but it was that one cult that broke off.
yeah.
That's what their Kree was, you know, for their ways. Where
This
the
is the way.
where the other ones were like, hey, you know, they're like normal people or normal Mandalorians, and they can take it off. So I think in that moment where she was like, well, if you help us get the black saber back, and we restore Mandalore to its true order or whatever, we'll let you in and be one of us again. And I think in a moment there was that one shot where he was really considering it, like maybe what I've been doing is wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I have all these new emotions because I've bonded with this little being, you know, and he's making me, you know, come out of, like you were saying, come out of my shell and become more human-ish, you know. And then I have this powerful like character in front of me from my home planet who is already that way, inviting me back in. Okay, you know, and I think that's part of why he took his helmet off at the end as well. Not just to show the little guy, because the little guy's probably never seen it, but also to show everyone else too at the same time, like, hey, you know, I am willing to change and accept the old ways. Maybe the old ways are better than what we're doing now, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's like a message. There is a message for every viewer, like, hey, what used to be may be right, may be wrong. You decide for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Do you
And
think
also,
they're done with the Mandalorian storyline?
no, because
There's 4
I think they
seasons.
brought Boba Fett back because
I thought they were
for
gonna.
that
The next
reason.
one was focusing on Boba Fett.
yeah.
The
No.
Mandalorian is over, so they announced.
No, I think
No, the Mandalorian's 4 seasons. They've planned 4 seasons.
Oh.
Disney has 4
Oh.
seasons of The Mandalorian. This is the book of, what is it? Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I think that's a spin-off series
Oh,
that they're
okay.
going to put out at the same time because Boba Fett went
Oh,
back
was
to...
this the third season?
No,
2. This is the second season.
no, the second season.
Oh.
So there, I looked
Yeah.
online and it has been confirmed.
Oh, okay, because
There's
they
4
still have
seasons.
to fight for the saber.
There was the dark saber, but also Mando didn't give Baby Yoda that little ball, like the
Yeah, I
shift
really
thing.
wanted him to give
It
the
was
ball.
in his pocket, and he didn't give it to him when he left.
Yeah.
I was the entire time I was like, "Give it to him, give it to him,"
Yeah.
and he didn't do it.
And I mean, I really want Grogu to appear again.
I do too. do too.
I'm neutral about Skywalker CGI. I don't care. It's Star Wars. It's Jedi shit, and he's the epitome of everything of Star Wars. I don't know, but it was good, man. And I guess Bo-Katan is also from the Clone Wars. I started watching Clone Wars. It's pretty cool.
I might have to watch it
It's
just to
cool.
see, just to get the story parts.
It's just
because
cool.
I read the comics,
Yeah.
and the comics in between, like the movies, there are stories, and I feel honestly that Disney needs to dive into these and
Yeah.
grab them and make those, because there's a really great one where Darth Vader's position with the Emperor is challenged by an outside entity. You know,
Ooh.
it's almost usurped from Darth Vader, and he like finally becomes Vader again. He's like, oh wait a minute, you know, and he takes care of business. But that needs to happen. It's called Shadows of the Empire. But it also explains Boba Fett. The Boba Fett has a series too, how he all of a sudden shows up when he fell in the Sarlacc pit in Jedi. There's a story about what happens to him after that and how he survives, and that needs to be told. And hopefully, it's told, you know, in his little spinoff.
It should.
You know, I see why they wouldn't. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. So
What was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. That was pretty interesting.
Grogu.
No. Oh, so and for you, have you seen Clone Wars?
I've seen a couple episodes, and I saw like the movie, like when I was
Oh,
they
they-
they have
like a
movie?
child. There's a movie.
Oh,
Oh, so
the
you know
movie
that.
came before the episodes.
Oh, so you know Ahsoka Tano
Yes.
was
Yes.
Anakin's.
She was like
Padawan.
yeah.
Okay. Which I thought was like, oh, saucy. So yeah,
Sassy.
cool. Yeah, man, it's well written. Favreau is it's good. Well, cinematically, he's good
Jon
for us.
Favreau, the man who never sleeps.
Yeah, I don't know how he is as a person, but
He never sleeps.
I think honestly, I've seen enough of his interviews. You know, and he talks in front of the camera. I think he's really the way he acts in the movies is how he is in life.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he really acts the way he is.
I think there's a cooking show he has on Netflix.
It's called Chef. It's a movie.
Oh,
I watched it. I really recommend it. It was good.
it's good. It's
I
like
like it.
documentary.
It's a story. It's a
Okay.
story about a chef who goes into an Instagram battle with a critic, who the critic is Oliver Platt, which I love Oliver Platt. He's a wonderful actor. And so he takes his son, who he's got like a really hard relationship with his son. So he takes his son and starts a food truck, and you know, does his thing. And so it's like the adventure and the discovery of like the bond between a father and son, and a self-discovery thing. Like, hey, I used to be a top-notch chef, but I can, you know, build from the bottom up a food truck and be successful. And then, you know, it's got a great ending. Sofia Vergara's in it as the wife or the ex-wife, and John Leguizamo as like the sidekick. And Leguizamo's character is really amazing. I really fell in love with his character because it was, he's very warm and he's very supportive. He doesn't care. He's always upbeat. Nothing ever gets him down. And he's just that guy. He like pumps him up and keeps him going. And he helps the kid. You know, there's like a cool moment with the kid and stuff. So he's like the mentor almost, but he's
I'm intrigued.
seeking the mentorship from the chef. He's very loyal to the
Is he Mexican
the
in the story?
Favreau.
Like of Mexican background?
yeah.
Okay.
And in the story is about he starts a Cuban sandwich truck.
Okay. Yeah.
And then travels around. So it's like cool, you know, because he's learning from his son how to be in the modern technology age and what sells. And then the dad's teaching the son like how to make food, and you know, it's a great movie, really. I would 4.5 that one.
Cool.
I mean, seriously, you should watch it. It's
I'm
great.
gonna watch it. I will.
The Chef. Or Chef, maybe.
This is chef.
Free range. Free range alert.
Anyway, so Jose, how's your writing been going?
it's not going.
We have been out of school since last week.
I've been spending all my time with family.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's awesome, man. My wife's on maternity leave or medical leave. So in Washington, well, I don't know if it's federal, but in Washington, when you have birth vaginal from the vagina, you get 4 weeks.
We are all familiar with birth, but yes, continue.
That's what we call natural birth.
Oh, when you go through you have natural birth, you have 4 weeks medical leave for the stuff to heal, and then you get maternity leave after that. And she was misinformed. So when she spoke to one of the people from the medical leave department, and they explained it again, and she was like, "Oh, so right now she's taking those 4 weeks." So we've just been spending.
So she took her medical or her maternity leave and then went back to work, and then it was like, "Oh, I have 4 more weeks," and then
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
How's the donut shop doing? Like with the support, are they upset or?
Oh no, they're good.
Her place of work.
I think my wife told my wolf, man.
Your wolf told
my
you?
wolf.
My wolf told me.
Ooh. No, my wife told me that at one point they had a lawsuit because an ex-employee got pregnant and they fired her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what. I'm pretty sure there was more to it, but now they're like, oh yeah, we'll abide by the laws.
Because they got it.
We'll find another way to fire her this time.
And her superior, not the store owner, but her superior is really the owner's right hand. She's really cool, and she supports our employees, and she does whatever she can.
Good for that.
So yeah, I've been spending a long time with family. I've been working on a present for my in-law. I can say this because he doesn't listen to this. It's his brother, my wife's uncle, passed away 4 July, and it hit her family and me, well, my family now, really, really hard because he was like patriarch, because he was like the dad to all of his siblings and to all the grandkids and nieces and all that. So
was that the one that when I met up with you guys in Chehalis for dinner? That was the one?
Sure.
Yeah, you saw pictures?
Well, no, I can't remember because it's either Centralia or Chehalis, you know. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I was
You
there.
met my
you said it.
you met my
Yeah,
in-law.
remember when I stopped by because I was on my way back from,
Yeah.
Okay. So it's
That's
that
my
one.
father-in-law. Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm saying that was the person you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it hit my wife really hard, and obviously my in-law. So because my in-law's been here for so long that his offspring had never interacted with the family down there. And
Down where?
In Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Because they're a bit lower class. I mean, they live good. Like they have food and roof, but if you want to get even a tourist visa, you have to prove that you're not going to stay here because you actually have the means to stay in Mexico comfortably. And a lot of her family members don't have that, so they can't visit the US. So I took my wife for our wedding. We had like a small wedding. So I took my wife to meet her family. And then her sister met her family. And so right now it's another 2 siblings and my wife's stepmom. And her uncle didn't get to meet my daughter. So that hit my wife hard too. And then my in-law too, because that's his first grandchild. So it's been kind of like a dark moment for my wife and my in-law and obviously the rest of the family. So I took it upon myself to make a good Christmas gift, and that entailed, because I'm done, getting a photo of my in-law with my daughter and photoshopping I'll call him my uncle. Photoshopping my uncle onto that photo. And we just printed it yesterday.
Oh, that's cute.
And we matted it. It's pretty nice. So that's what I've been spending my time on. I've been spending a lot of time with my wife. We've been doing like little shopping, for gifts, going to all the Burlingtons and all the Rosses.
The Burlingtons and the Rosses.
Yeah, and I've been cooking a lot. Yeah. I'm proud.
I can tell.
Yeah, I cook good. It's just that I'm lazy. Oh no, I burn chicken too. So I started baking.
I'm waiting for you to actually come up with the honesty out of all that.
I started
in
baking
your
the chicken so
slowly-
that I don't burn it.
Oh.
So
air fryer makes
yeah, that's why I
chicken
haven't
wings
written
really good.
anything. However, as we near more the Christmas time, there's gonna be more free time because we're done with that. So I will write something. I want to expand on Betrayed based on your notes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm trying to make you a feature. So
Oh,
I gotta,
yeah, you can make it into a feature.
yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that's why I have not written, because I've been doing the photoshopping, trying to design the shirts for our patrons
The patrons are getting some
and for whoever wants to buy
shirts.
one. Currently, I'm trying to choose a font. There's gonna be 3 quotes so far. It's this is the Random Whisper. Don't cook bacon naked, and I'm Abby.
I'm Abby.
I'm just trying to find the right angles, is the right font, and then and we're using vinyl, so it's gonna stick.
Yeah, because you gave me a sweater for Christmas.
Yeah.
Didn't stay.
It didn't even survive the trip home.
Yeah, because I wore it in the car.
Did that happen to the logos too, or just the letters?
It was the letters in the back. I don't know about anything else. I haven't worn it since then.
I noticed there was a crinkle in the logo.
Okay. Yeah, because it's supposed to be for mostly cotton, so I tried to do it on a 50-50 blend, and it didn't work out. So
And
I'm sorry.
Live and you learn.
But yeah, have you guys written anything? I know you haven't, because you've been busy with the Lego sets.
He's a Lego
Oh my
man.
god.
He only
Yeah.
builds Legos.
No,
Wait.
it's cool. Like when you send the pictures, I'm like, oh shit, that's cool.
Will you tell Jose what you have on the floor in your living room right
So
now?
I bought a lot of Legos off of eBay. It was
But-
17 pounds of Legos. It ended up coming in its 18 pounds actually, like almost 18 and a half.
Just random?
Of just a pile of Legos. So,
New or used?
Oh, they're all used, of course.
Okay.
So I'm like in the process of dumping them right in the middle of my floor, and then like separating them out and like taking them apart because stuff's still kind of put together for a lot of it, so I can wash them,
Yeah.
And oh my god, there's probably 10,000 Legos, 50,000 Legos sitting on my floor, and it's you have to literally walk around to do anything in my living room.
And it's a lot of like the
They're
little
just different
man
kinds of
or
pieces.
like sets.
It's random stuff.
Random stuff.
Random stuff. So there are sets and stuff.
How are you
in
gonna
there.
wash them?
Soap and water.
Soap and water.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I got to catalog them, separate them into colors because I have these bins that have all the different colors, so I can figure out what to build from them next.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a process. It's probably going to take me till the time I graduate from college to get this fucking pile like separated and binned and cataloged, and so
Do you find it cathartic? Building?
it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic.
Okay.
Like I'm the guy that I like to count change and separate it, and then I'll put it all back in the bin. Whenever I have like a moment, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, go count my quarters and my dimes and nickels. Now I have Legos to just keep doing it, so it's a process. So it keeps me sane, especially during the COVID times.
Okay.
It's something to do instead of sitting and watching TV and just watching TV.
I like the
have-
one you did for Random Whispers. It's very
Separated.
cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna build
you
on
built
that.
the set. You should have brought it down
I
here.
should have brought it down here.
It's so surreal, right? Like
Yeah,
It's
it's like
us.
the exact room that we're in right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the microphones too was like, wow.
I love the microphones. Yeah, and then there was a little thing for the
Yeah.
the
The
recorder.
mixer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
What
cool.
you need now
Yeah,
is
sure.
like the sign. You don't have. The
I was
sign.
trying to figure out how to do that. Maybe we'll just have to have like a little sticker printed out.
Yeah, with
So
like
we can
little
just
blue
put
lines.
it on there. Put it on there. And do
Yeah,
it.
I can print it out for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna look into because you can buy the lights for
Okay.
your sets. You know,
Yeah.
like people buy a set like and they'll light it up. So I'm just gonna look at like if I can get like a pound of them and just put them on and like try to do the light setup we have here. But I mean, like I was talking to you guys before, we're gonna expand the soundboard or the sound absorber.
Yeah,
So I might wait because then I can probably get some more stuff in there.
yeah. Just send me all the PNGs or even photos, and I can Photoshop them and print them out as stickers.
Yeah, but it's gonna have to be like a little.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how accurate your printer can get with tiny print.
It's a good printer.
Very tiny print.
It's a Canon Pixma Pro 100.
Okay.
It's a good
So,
investment.
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I plan on expanding the
It's really cool.
Lego set a little. Or the,
I
the
wish I had the
studio.
patience you have. I wouldn't have the patience.
How hard was it?
You
Because
know
built.
what most patient the difficulty I have
What?
putting the Legos together with this one.
Oh my god.
She is so wrong when she's putting stuff on, and I'm trying to explain it to her. And
What? There's freedom to Legos. Just put them on top of each other.
no. Like with the upside down house.
Yeah.
Or the inside.
Yeah, I helped
upside
him
down.
build the upside down house, which is in the corner over
Yeah.
there.
Should I bring it?
You want to show everybody?
And it's
pretty extreme.
just that we try to tell each other what to put, and then it's not there, and we're like, no, it's got to go this way, and then it's hard to explain. Grab it.
by the trees.
No.
Or by the
Or yeah, you could grab by the trees. Grab by the trees. Grab by the trees.
I don't want to be that guy.
He drops it, it explodes everywhere.
You drop it.
That
dude.
would be a great podcast, I
It's
think.
2 books to
Drop
put
it,
that together.
drop it.
So
You drop your buy. Okay. Can you see it? Oh, it's too far. I'm fucking scared, dude.
oh no, just take the GoPros. Take the GoPro, bro. Put it down. You're making me nervous, please. And just take the GoPro and kind of pan it or whatever.
Here, take mine. There you go.
There you go.
That actually took us like 3 days of 6 hours each putting
Of
it
like
together.
coming over to like
Yeah.
watch a movie, and then we'll just build some Legos.
Yeah.
Was that a wizard?
Yeah, it's
A
it's
wizard?
it's
What do you mean?
It's the D&D poster. It fell off somewhere, and I can't remember where it goes.
I think it goes in somebody's hand.
Or no, wait, it goes right there.
Where?
Oh, never mind. It is something. Does it go in somebody's
It
hand?
goes in somebody's hand. It
Okay.
goes. I don't remember whose hand, but
So yeah, it was fun to put together. But yeah,
The fucking car is the best part. Or the truck, the SUV. What is that?
it's a Bronco,
it's a car.
the Ford Bronco.
It's a truck. It's a bird. It's a
Why did you
plane.
bring it here?
Because I thought it would be a
No, I
good.
said how.
Oh, I one wheeled it down.
Were you shaking?
No, I really wasn't. I was nervous though. I was like,
Imagine you're riding down.
well, I had to
the-
plan the light correctly, you know.
You're riding down the road on your one wheel,
Somebody hits
just
me,
holding a Lego
and it-
piece. I
and
would
it
have loved to
busts.
see that. It's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of honks and a lot of like peace signs from people, like, "Hey, hey, it's freaking cool." But yeah,
That's pretty cool, man.
so yeah, I want to do other things.
So how hard was it to, because you built this room? How hard was it to kind of get the layout of it? How long did that take you?
It took me probably a couple hours.
Yeah. Did you like have to take
Most of it
apart?
was just finding
Yeah.
the right part, you know, like pulling through the big bin full of pieces. But for me, when I first started to build it, I was going to build it the way I want the studio to look, you know, versus like the color palette that it is now. I didn't have the pieces that I wanted it to look like. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just make it the way it is. And it's all from memory. I didn't look at any pictures or anything. So
It looked cool.
yeah. And I was really amazed about the microphones. I was like, wow, I have 3 microphones. This is funny.
Yeah.
You should do like, you know how product photography? You should do that for your sets. You know, with like a big white box, some lighting,
Sure.
especially the RWS one.
I want to do other things. So I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do because I want to surprise you guys. But there are other
Oh,
RWS
surprises.
RWS related stuff. Although I did think about maybe building sets of scenes that we're going to shoot for like La Vecchia,
Okay, that'd be cool.
or you know, like maybe even Magnolia, or some of these films that we're doing.
Yeah.
Kind of like a storyboard, but it's a Lego board. You know, like build it and then leave it there because it's like how. Or I think it would be awesome to have a set built
Yeah.
out of Legos, but then again, we can also visualize a certain moment in whatever movie. we
Yeah.
do or whatever.
Like for the podcast studio, we can take a picture of it and put it in like in the banner of our social media.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Floating
So-
shelves would look cool too in your house.
I don't want to
You're
put it.
just really
It's a
pushing
rental.
those floating
No,
shelves.
I have floating shelves, but they're
Oh,
really
okay.
hard. They're really hard to put up. like I said before, you have to actually get every single one of those pieces on the stud. And sometimes the hole or the way they catch isn't like when you put it up, it's not going to line up with one or two of the studs. So they're difficult. They're difficult because they don't hang on drywall very well.
Okay.
Floating shelf. Floating shelf.
But, and it's a rental and I don't want to put holes in the wall. As opposed to here where we could do floating shelves here and put stuff up.
Fair enough. Okay. No, that's pretty cool. Like, have you guys done like time lapses?
I tried to do one.
Didn't you do that with your first one that you tried to make?
I did try.
Was it too heavy or?
It was too many photos. And then I didn't estimate how long it would take to build it versus how many single shots I need to take. So I put a number in and then I went and made it. And then I looked and it stopped. It cut off. It ended its sequence run way too early. And I was still putting stuff together. So I just kind of gave up on it.
What you can do is get one of your camcorders and just record until it dies. And then you just speed it up times like 3,000.
No, that's what I remember when I did that one for the media thing in the design degree where
Is
I
that
did
you?
the paint.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I did as I filmed it. And then I just sped it up,
Yeah.
you know, and it works fine. It's just, you never know how long these things are going to take,
Yeah.
you know. If it was a smaller set, then yeah, it'd be pretty cool to do because it would take maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes to put it all together and then to speed it up to like a minute and a half or something.
Yeah.
But if it's like this one, doing a time lapse on that would be a lot of work to get it done.
Okay.
So maybe in another time when we have better knowledge of like Lego put together time or whatever, but not right now. It's
Okay.
I don't know. No.
Cool. Cool for your whole lace.
Cool.
All right. So I wanted to talk about some realizations I've had about
Realizations.
adulthood. You know,
Mhm.
I
What have you realized?
realized. People are so stupid. Like when I was a child, I assumed adults knew everything,
Yeah.
and they just made mistakes.
Mhm.
And okay, and when I went to the military, that's when I started realizing, okay, some of this people are stupid,
Mhm.
like the higher ups. And you would think because they have higher ranks, they would be wiser and smarter, but no. And I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe
The outlier.
they're stressed and whatever. They're. Then you go to college and then you take psychology and sociology and you're like, oh, people and their feelings and emotions and blah blah blah. And then when you learn more, you become more self-aware. You have a wider perspective. You see things from all angles, and you take a step back because you expand. You're supposed to expand your wisdom, especially in college. And I assume that the rest of the country would do that, even if they don't go to school. Through just relationships at work or whatever. It's not the case, and it's just frustrating how ignorant people can be in any aspect of anything. And then I started watching what's it called? This documentary about Mexican rock, and how a lot of dictators got into power, but the people were like supporting it blindly, and we did that here too. Well, we do it every election because all politicians are assholes. But I just realized like people can be so stupid, and then when you see like all the videos where like all these complainers and calling cops on people for no legit reasons, and it's just like I just realized that adults are stupid, and it's just sad.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to vent that to everyone.
You hear that? You're fucking stupid. Jose says so.
Most most people that are stupid don't know that they're stupid. And it's not stupid because they can be book smart. But they're like just idiots. Like ignorant about even relationships, like people relationships, like human relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I mean, I've met people where they're really smart, but it's like, why do you just not have any common sense?
Yeah.
It's like, talking to them, you're like, you know that they're like so smart because like they do certain things, they have a certain job in like, you know, chemistry or whatever, you know, scientific thing, and you know that they can handle themselves, but sometimes you're like, how have you survived this long?
Yeah, and I just like I wanna kind of teach this to my daughter, like, cause you know, I've known people that put their parents on a high pedestal,
Yeah.
and then when they see them cry or say they get in a fight and get beat up or whatever happens, they're like, oh, our parents are humans too, you know. I kind
That's
of
like
want
when
to.
you were a child and you saw your teacher outside of school and you're like, excuse me,
Yeah, and
what
I
are you
just
doing here?
I want to teach my daughter that just because someone's an adult, yeah, you know, everyone loses respect. They don't earn it. But, you know, when I just realized, like, when people made you respect adults, even if they were jerks or assholes, and I now realize that they're just jerks and assholes. And not all of them, but, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just wanted to vent. Just crying over here.
I'll tell you my realization in life, one of my biggest ones, is I had this concept that women don't shit.
What?
It's weird to think of, yeah.
Women don't shit or women don't fart. Okay. Growing up, because I never saw my mom do it. You know,
Whoa.
no, I'm saying like, you know,
No,
I never
yeah.
went to the bathroom and knocked on the door, and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom answered through the door, like, hey, you know, I'm in here.
Do you
know?
think she, like, didn't?
I in my mind, it's like men only did it.
No, you
Because
think...
my dad would always be in there, like, and I know he's reading a book or something, sitting on the toilet. He called it the library.
No, do you think in hindsight, do you think that she avoided you
Avoided
knowing...
broadcasting the fact that she was
yeah.
doing that?
I don't honestly think that my mom was that way. I think
Uh-huh.
it just happened, you know, because like for a lot of people, everyone's routined.
Yeah.
So maybe her routine was later in the afternoon or mid morning. You know, that's when she would do her whatever she's doing. So, like, I would already be at school by the time her routine would come about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I remember it was a fleeting moment. I was probably like 13 or 14. And I really had to go to the bathroom bad, you know, and I'm there and the door's locked and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I bang on it and I'm waiting for my dad to be like, you know, and my mom is like, hey. And I'm like, oh my God, she's home. Because I didn't even think she was home. And I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. Well, I'm in here, you know, kind of thing. And I was like, God damn it. So, but the moment I realized it is when I opened the door and I was like, oh, she didn't spray. That crushed my whole concept of women. Don't shit or don't fart, because I had witnessed the aftermath of my mom, you know. So that was almost my welcome to adulthood thing, you know. It's like, oh, women do shit, you know, and fart. So I just wanted to share that with you.
That is amazing. But what is also amazing is that she listens to the podcast.
I know.
I can't wait for her to listen to
This
this
is going to be
one.
the greatest thing for her to reply to, because I'm going to get an earful from.
Did
my
you
mom.
ever tell her this, or is this the first she's gonna hear of
This
this?
is probably the first. You know.
Your son was 13 when he realized women shit.
Yep, women shit.
I wonder if she's going to be like, I can't believe he told the story, or I can't believe I didn't spray.
One or the other,
spray.
or my mom's gonna laugh her ass off. Yeah. She has a great sense of humor, and she'll probably like, TMI, buddy, but it was funny that you told me. You know.
Well,
So,
one of the things I had was I knew couples that could be in the restroom together, like say brushing your teeth and someone was pooping or peeing.
I couldn't do.
I can't.
I can't.
Like, even with my wife, we've been together for what, 8 years. I can pee in the same restroom, but I'd be like, turn around.
Oh,
But I
really?
could never poop with her in the restroom. Or no one. So, yeah. But I know a lot of couples that just, they're like nothing. Yeah, chilling.
No.
Chilling and pooping.
I you know, I've been in relationships where, you know, one's in the shower and the other one comes in to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's one of those, hey, I'm using the bathroom and I'm not going to flush
Yeah.
because I don't want you to get the hot
But there's a
water thing.
layer.
There's a partition.
Yeah.
There's some
I
kind
leave
of,
the door open because,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about coming in doing makeup while you're sitting there trying to, you're in a very
Yeah.
vulnerable moment, you know? And there are things that go on and sounds that will happen that I just don't need to marry together with the thought of someone putting mascara on or brushing their teeth. You know, it's like, wow,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, but it's almost just as bad as people leaving the door open when you use the bathroom. Like couples get very comfortable with each other, you know, and they'll just walk in and sit down and do their business, and the door's open, you know, and you're like walking and you see it, and it's like, what are you doing? Why? Like, close the door. I don't want to smell what's going on in the bathroom in the kitchen when I'm cooking food. It's not a great mixture of odors, you know.
Yeah.
You smell lasagna and microscopic shit particles at the same time. It's like, no.
That's gross. My grandma leaves the door open with the fan on because she smokes while she poops.
Yeah, that's a weird.
It's
two
relaxing.
things to do.
It's relaxing, I guess. You know,
So
it's not the first time I've heard.
you're at her house and you're walking to the restroom and you hear the. You're like, oh,
She's smoking and shitting.
yep,
Shitting and smoking.
yeah, it's funny. She had a bathroom built on the outside of the house so she could smoke because she started noticing that walls getting yellow and
Yeah.
the smell and all that. It's crazy, man. People are like, I know like people are peculiar and quirky, but like in an awesome way sometimes, you know?
Peculiar and quirky.
Yeah.
So she's just quirky with her smoking? Is that what
Yeah,
you
like I
mean?
never heard of someone smoking and pooping like on
I
the
guess so.
daily. Like it's a thing.
It's like, I gotta go do my smoke shit. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Is that the only time she smokes? Is when she's shitting?
And in the evenings on her rocking chair outside.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if she
What?
smokes more now,
It's
but
it's almost like what you remember Stand By Me. You know how they had the cigarette after the meal, and they're like, "It's nothing like a good smoke after the meal." You know, it's like one of those things that was
Bless you.
was very traditional for people in a certain era. That's what they did. You know, you didn't smoke during the day, but when you had a meal, after the meal, you had a cigarette. It was like one of those things.
huh. Well, I've seen like in movies like after sex.
Yeah, another thing.
I'm thirsty after sex. I don't know why people smoke.
Relaxes. You're pumped up. You know, because you've been doing activity.
But doesn't nicotine like give you energy?
It relaxes you.
Oh.
That's why when people are stressed
Yeah,
out, they're like,
wasn't
"Oh my god,
there-
I need a fucking cigarette."
Wasn't
You know?
there, like, didn't say old cigarette ads be like, relaxing? Like, it was supposed to be, it was targeted as a relaxer.
Oh, there's another testament for like people like the smoking kills and the packages tell you, hey, it kills, it gives you cancer.
What
And
are
it's
you talking about?
Like people being like ignorant
Oh.
How are they being ignorant?
because they do things that are dangerous.
That's not being ignorant, though.
Or it's making bad choices.
It's bad choices.
Being
but
stupid.
That's not ignorance.
Okay, I was being stupid. I apologize. This is one of them.
Hey, he's just hostile because he smokes.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Uh-huh,
Really,
sure.
it doesn't. But I mean, like the word ignorance means not knowing. So they know what they're doing. They just choose to do something that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They're not ignorant. They're
It's
just
not
dumb.
ignorance. It's just choices.
Dumb choices. 2020. How was 2020 for you guys?
2020 was the fastest year of my life. I feel like we were just here. I thought we were just celebrating the new year.
Yeah.
Because of like we were shut down for a couple months, and because we're so limited on the things that we were able to do because of COVID, I feel like I've just like all of a sudden it's a year later, like time has flown. We're graduating in 2 quarters. I feel like we just entered the program.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far with the program thing. I feel
I
like
feel
we
like we just
started the bachelor thing, you know, but it has gone by rather fast because you're not outside to notice the season change as much, you know. You're not interacting with people who have other things going on in their lives on more frequently. You know, you do talk to your friends, but it's on the phone or it's on, you know, video call or something. It's not you're meeting them for drinks or you're meeting them for like a walk or, you know, hanging out for lunch or something. You know, it's that frequency has really diminished because of, you know, the restrictions we have.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get that. And in the fast pacedness of school and your daily routine has been altered at such a level that you don't notice the time change, and by time, I mean season change, daylight wise. A lot of people don't realize that the sun comes up later in the day and it gets dark earlier, because they're inside so much, so they don't expose themselves to it too much. So yeah, it's been a very fast paced year for me as well.
What did we do this year?
Zoom.
This year we had one quarter at the school and that was it.
Yeah.
It was winter quarter.
It was at the end that.
Because I took pottery last quarter. Because remember we all had a free quarter and you guys took that comic book class,
yeah.
right?
That was a good class.
And I took pottery.
We didn't even have to wear masks. We just had to like use Germix and stuff.
Well, it wasn't like an issue until like nearing the end of the quarter. That was when people were starting to get worried about it.
Well, that's when they actually we didn't even finish the quarter. They closed down like a week before the quarter.
They closed down during the finals.
Yeah.
During finals.
Yep, last week.
Well, that's when people started.
Do you
buying.
remember the first couple months where people went shopping and they didn't wear masks?
Mm-hmm.
So they told us not to wear masks, and now it's like, oh my god, we went through life not wearing masks during the pandemic. That's like it feels so long ago, but it also feels like it was so recent.
And now you have Tom Cruise.
Why? What did he do?
You didn't hear about the Tom Cruise thing?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Tom Cruise. They were filming Mission Impossible somewhere, and apparently
another one.
Yeah. Apparently somebody wasn't following COVID guidelines, and he flipped the fuck out, and he was screaming at them.
The Christian Bale freak
I remember
out?
the Christian Bale.
He Christian bailed on the cast and crew for COVID.
For the
COVID violations.
Yeah. Which I understand. I mean, I'd be fucking angry too.
I totally support Tom Cruise. I don't care how extreme he went.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Is it a video?
I don't
or
know if
sound?
it's a video. I don't know if it's. It was just a news article for me.
Oh, okay.
There is an audio. I don't know if there's a video to go with it, but there's an audio.
Damn.
And he's getting backlash now. There were
people
people
are fucking
against him.
dumb, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
fucking your COVID shit doesn't matter." It's like, yeah, it does. It's not that hard. I hate at work, like somebody will come into the store and they won't be wearing a mask, or they'll be wearing it under their nose. I'm like, it's not that fucking hard to
It's
wear
not.
it properly. If you don't want to wear it properly, don't go to a fucking retail store. You don't need to be here.
See, and that goes back to like that. That's why I said it, because there's a lot of high school friends on Facebook who has lost people to COVID and that have had COVID. My mom had COVID and my brothers had COVID. Thankfully, they were more like it's just like a sniffle and maybe a headache or whatever. But there's tangible proof that it does kill people, and people they're just so blind that they're like, oh, it's not real. Does not. I understand the business economic side of it, and I feel like we were doing at least here in Kitsap, Piers, and whatever, we were doing so good with like the third phase or second phase.
We were close to getting the third phase here.
Yeah, we were doing good. I mean, my wife and I took our child to eat at restaurants, and we were fine. We followed the guidelines. We had our own little Germix, whatever, and masks, and the restaurants did their cleaning, the barber, everything was fine. So I understand where the anger comes from business owners that we went back to that. However, when people willingly say, oh, I'm not wearing a mask because my freedoms and Merca and whatever, or oh, it's not real, and that's the way I'm referring to. Like, so people can be either ignorant, some people can be stupid, or whatever other word you want to find. And it's just I seen photos. I know it's real because friends and family have gotten it, and people still say it's fake.
See, when it first started happening, I was in a spot of disbelief. I was like, oh, this is probably one of those hoaxes. This is bullshit. No one's getting sick or whatever. And then people started like really getting widespread sick, And I was like, okay, well, maybe I was wrong, and obviously I was in my thinking, and but I didn't buck the system. I realized that because everybody is doing it and it's a health hazard, and I associated it with the flu shot for the most part. People don't want to get the flu shot. I don't get the flu shot. I don't get sick, but I don't condemn people for doing it. And I go to that point where if I'm going someplace and it's required to have a mask, whether or not I want to wear a mask, I don't. I'm claustrophobic, so I have issues for longevity. You know, I couldn't work all day with a mask on. I'd freak out. I'd have to have breaks quite frequently. But because it's required, I'm not going to buck the system. I'm going to put my mask on. You know, I have no problems doing it. I don't like to, but it's because it's been mandated that you need to have it. Fine. You know, I obey the rules. I don't really like to break the rules, you know, and if it was a law, and there are places where it is a law where you get fined for not wearing your mask. Fine. You know, if that's what it takes for other people, I just don't want to be the person that gives it to somebody else. If I have it, like if I'm asymptomatic or whatever, I don't want to, but I'm following a lot more of the guidelines than say everyone else. I mean, I quarantine. I don't go out other than down to the 7-Eleven to get milk or, you know, whatever. And then I go right back home. I don't go to parks and restaurants and, you know, like all these other people do that do spread it by coughing on their hands or not putting their mask on or not germexing and touching things, and everybody else picks it up. It's kind of like a herpes syndrome, you know?
Yeah.
You know, people pick it up and spread it without even knowing it. You know, it's like, come on, just everybody play their part and we'll get through this fine. And I hate saying we're all in it together because we're really not, because it's all the lowly people that are really suffering. And yeah, say the politicians and the lawmakers that are making the laws are dragging their knuckles. They go home to their cushy ass little apartments and houses with their limousines and butlers and shit and don't have to worry about the people struggling, even though they're taking their time, giving everybody their stimulus checks. But they're getting the COVID too. So it's like we are really all in it together, but not everybody's doing what they need to be doing. And that's why we're still in it together, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really disconcerting that I can have a mind change from the beginning of it to where we are now. Why can't all these other people? Because they don't have their friend dying or getting sick. They don't know anybody. So to them, it's not real. It hasn't impacted their lives on a personal level. So now they're stuck in that bullshit, it's my right kind of thing. Well, yeah, it's your right not to wear the mask. I'm not saying it isn't, all the people that listen. But what I'm saying is it isn't your right to give to somebody else. That's the problem. It's my right not to get it from you. So wear your mask.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And it's like exhausting to repeat and repeat and repeat, but it's just...
It is.
You got to vent once in a while.
Yeah, because I mean, I have a high-risk family member. So, I mean, I understand why my parents do the same thing. They're worse off than I am. Not saying worse off in the sense that they're crazy, but they're smart about it.
Yeah.
You know, my dad has medical issues that put him at a higher risk level. So they
Yeah.
don't go anywhere. And I don't blame them for not going anywhere.
Does your mom get groceries or do you like order it?
They order it and deliver.
That's cool.
So, I mean, and they're very, you know, contactless with a lot of stuff.
In the part of Arizona they're from, is it more like is there people like that are like, oh, is this not real, or is it more like conscious?
They get, I mean, there's been shootings because of it, because you don't wear masks. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, you did. I
there's
remember you telling
violence,
me
yeah.
about the Walmart thing.
Yeah, there's violence because of the mask thing, because people still think that they have the right to walk into these establishments with no mask, and then they get butthurt when they get turned around. And I don't think it's the fact that they're going, it's my right. It's that public embarrassment, and they're not mature enough to just take that and be like, all right, you know, they go home and get their guns and go back and shoot people or cause fights or spit on people. Like I've watched videos of people coughing on other people. Oh, COVID, cough, cough, cough. I honestly, that's a physical thing to me. Not so much that they want to try to quote unquote spread COVID to me. It's the fact that they're coughing their DNA on me.
It's an assault, man.
I take it as I have the right to defend myself now. And I will not feel bad if I choke somebody out and embarrass them in public. Or put my hands on them in a way that I normally don't want to put my hands on people. I don't like violence.
I know.
But there are times for violence. And those are the times.
Yeah.
Because sometimes other people watching need to have that moment where they see another person doing something to a person who's done them wrong. For them, it's like keeping honest people honest, basically. Like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about positives 2020. For
Positives?
me, for me personally, I live in Lakewood, and I go to school in Bremerton. It's about 45 minutes away on a good day. It was good to me that we were doing online class because I saved gas
You
and I
don't have to
saved
drive
tolls.
anywhere.
And
You lead with this. All the things that have happened, you lead with Zoom classing, not the fact that your daughter was born.
what? You didn't let me
Oh my
finish.
gosh!
You didn't let
No,
me
you
finish.
should have led with
I thought
my
he was a
daughter was
family
born.
man.
I thought he was going to lead with that.
I thought he was a family man.
and I was going to jump on board, be like, heck yeah, that's awesome.
Your
But
daughter was born.
now we're talking about Zoom
I was gonna
classes
say,
versus.
I
oh,
get to
God.
spend more time with my family.
Malou, I'm so sorry you have a dad like this.
Oh, she
It's
knows.
okay.
I'm
I'll
the
tell
best
you
dad in the
stories
world.
about this later. Wait till you get older. I have many, many stories.
Many of them. But,
Anyways, go ahead, finish.
Yeah, like it helped us out because I get to be a stay-at-home dad because I'm using the voc rehab, which is kind of like the GI Bill, so my rent gets paid. And we got lucky that I guess my wife's an essential worker because she manages a donut shop and people need donuts.
Of course,
Um,
cops need to have donuts.
So it worked out perfect that we got a little better.
My GoPro's dying.
It's okay. They're all gonna die. But
Yeah, I get a little battery too.
it worked out because I was stay-at-home dad. My wife works in the morning, and I take care of my daughter, and I have online classes, and I don't always have to be on the camera because my parents, my teachers know that I have a daughter. So it worked out perfect, saving money and saving time and spending that time with my family. So that was one of the pros. Another pro, since my family wasn't affected with the whole economic shutdown, we got that extra cash, the stimulus check, which we were able to get new couches because we were due for some new couches. Our couches were filthy and broken, so that was another pro. I think that's about it. I mean, just the ability to have my first kid and actually spending time with my kid 24/7 is still the most pro of this year. And I'm glad that I joined the military and I have these benefits. I rephrase. I'm glad I joined the military, got honorably discharged, finished my contract, and got these benefits. So a lot of people join in, they get kicked out or get out, AWOL and stuff.
I would say positively for me, relocating closer to the school.
Was this year?
No.
Oh,
But I'm saying it was at the end of last year.
yeah.
September.
Oh, yeah.
September. But
I thought you lived.
no, I
You
lived
moved
here
here?
September. September's when I
Oh,
moved,
okay.
and then I moved into the house from the apartment in December.
Oh,
But-
gotcha.
Being out here though is given me more time because I'm not doing the travel like you were, like you're doing because I live out here.
Yeah.
It's in, and then with the pandemic thing, my circle of friends has kind of collapsed into a comfortable, more manageable circle of friends, and it gives me more opportunity to spend time with certain people in my circle of friends that I cherish. Because now I'm not driving and making, being tired all the time, and I can't do that
Spreading
because
yourself thin.
I have, not enough butter on too much toast. It's that kind of thing, and it's given me a lot of self-care.
Nice.
I've been able to really because we're trapped inside. And a lot of people just sit there and potato into the movies, and they gain weight and they're getting depressed, and I'm not. I've found very positive outlets to manage my self-care with. Like I do the Lego thing to keep me kind of sane, building stuff, and it's structured, and you have a task and you have a finished product. But then I like hanging out with people, watching films and discussing them, and you're just spending quality time. It's really been great. And I've had the ability to cook food and enjoy food instead of just wolfing it down for a means of sustenance
Yeah.
and then going to bed. So it's like I'm eating stuff and I'm enjoying the flavors of it and everything else.
What's your favorite meal so far that you've made?
I mean, honestly, very simple shit like ramen noodles. But I like to cook. Like a steak and potatoes. very easy to do. You throw it on, season it up, cook it to your liking, and then make the potatoes. However, either fried or mashed.
Oh,
So-
how's the air fryer? Is it?
I already told you, but you were too busy rambling on that the air fryer cooks chicken wings amazing
Nice.
and French fries.
So
Those
you
are
fry the
two-
wings? Do you batter them?
No,
Okay.
no. I
Just the skin
I
itself?
do them traditional and then dippings.
Okay.
I did do a salt, like a lemon and pepper, and I like tossed it in it after I cooked them. Came out a little too much. I think I put too much lemon pepper in. It was a little overbearing. But
Okay.
I'm gonna try other ways of doing the wings. It's just that was the first time. And I would like to think that they were savory enough. I mean, would you agree or disagree?
He did make some for me. I like them. I think they were
Okay.
pretty good. I think he also made fries. I think that the wings were better.
Yeah,
And
I think
fries.
the fries didn't cook all the way through in the middle.
Gotcha.
So I might have to turn down the temp and extend the time just to get that thorough cook through.
Gotcha. That's cool. I should get one.
Yeah,
Cooking is fun,
it is.
especially if
And-
people like your food. You're like, hee hee.
The best thing about the air fryer that I've realized so far is like with cooking the wings, a lot of the chicken grease pops out and it's on the bottom of the bin. You just kind of dump it out and wash it, but you're not consuming that grease. As if you would bake it, it might not as come out easy enough,
Or even like fry it with oil.
or fried with oil. And then you have it like stuck in the skin and you're eating it. And it's so.
So when you got the wings, the only like mess was the sauce itself rather than the grease.
Yeah, but that's just pouring it in a dipper, and then you either eat the wing by itself or you pull it off and dip it in and eat it, or dip the wing. So
Wings.
That's awesome. What about you, Abby?
I think my positive of the year was you guys.
what?
Girlfriend.
I think we all became better friends this year.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry I don't live here, guys.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You live you, and when we come together, it's a great thing. It's magical every time, because the fact that we don't see each other every day, it's more meaningful whenever you do come out. Even though I'm angry that you're late most of the time.
Every time.
Every
Wait, I
time.
was on time this time.
I think, didn't we agree on meeting at 11?
We did agree on
Oh, I thought it was 1.
One? Why would we meet at 1?
WTF, guy.
When have we ever met at 1?
No,
We've
like
never
I
met.
thought we said we were gonna meet at 12 to start at 1.
Nope.
No, I said,
11.
well,
She
how
said 12.
I work with communicating with you is I will tell you 11. So hopefully you're here by 12 so that the
Yes.
latest we can start is 1.
I'm sorry.
We're planning ahead.
Oh, you
just for-
guys.
But anyways,
Because we know how to handle you because
Yeah.
you're always late.
I'm about to die. It's cool.
Mine's already died.
Yeah.
I'm still going.
Okay, so normally I am freezing to death in this room. Currently I am sweating to
It
death.
is.
yeah.
All of a
They
sudden, the
turned
heat,
the heat on.
the heat guy is
Earlier my toes were cold and now I'm like,
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, it's not.
Cool.
But that So was that the only other positive there? Albers.
yeah. I think that was my biggest. I feel like I didn't do anything this year. I only hung out.
Well-
I hung out with you guys. I hung out with my other friends very rarely. I worked and I did school. I feel like that's all we really did. Oh, we filmed Magnolia. I feel like that's a
And
good positive.
Lavecchia.
And we started Lavecchia, so I feel like that is a good positive. I
Yeah.
feel like that's all I really did this year. I feel like it was just, work, sleep, school, work, sleep, school. Because there's not really a whole lot other things to do.
Yeah. I guess that was it. The upside of school was Zoom. The downside was some of those classes needed to be in person. 100%.
Yeah, especially because we're getting such a very technical degree that
Yeah.
is almost always hands-on. It's difficult being only virtual.
It is true. It is very true.
Okay, cool. 2020. We had the elections. They're crazy. They
Thank
still
God
are.
it's over.
I tell you what, we're going to go into the politics. I'm going to step away because I don't really talk politics.
All right.
And I'm going to use the bathroom.
Okay,
Because
cool.
apparently we're having the world. Would you like me to move?
You're going to need
Are
to
you
move.
asking me?
This is awesome. No one's ever been to the restroom yet. I like it.
And it's hot in here. I'm going to open the door.
Dude, it is hot. My toes are not cold anymore. All
My
right.
toes are not cold anymore.
I'll give you my piece. Jay doesn't like politics or doesn't like discussing politics. So I obviously really, really dislike Trump. I used to hate the guy. Now I kind of hate his supporters
Yeah.
because they put him there, and essentially the first year or two, you always give the benefit of the doubt. After year two, or even during year two, you're like, okay, cool. So now people seeing the truth, right? Third year, okay, definitely new president, probably a new Republican or a new Democrat or whatever. Year four, he's still like near half of the voting went to Trump. And that's another reason why I think, like, how can people be so ignorant or so stupid if you're not racist or if you're not prejudiced and bigoted?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, Biden sucks and then the liberal this, Democrat that. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not liberal. I'm not Republican. I'm independent because I hate being half right and half wrong all the time, because that's what humans are. So I think there should be an independent overall. I voted against Trump, and people think I'm a Biden fan or a Democrat or whatever. But a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people voted against Trump. And
I don't know. I'm just glad the election stuff is over.
yeah. And that's the thing. If it was over, it should have been over. And then
It's not over.
it's not over.
But it's over because they officially were like, yeah, there's nothing. Biden fucking won. So they're gonna finally move on. Things
Yeah,
are
but
gonna
I am
transition.
concerned about the southern states with their Trump fanatics. And
I think it's gonna be something that just fades.
I hope so, but
Do you think that Donald Trump, if he is in good health still and
Yes,
he's still
he
doing
will.
stuff, he's gonna run again in 4 years?
oh yeah,
You think so?
oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think so.
It's like his fanatics are women in domestic violence, and Trump's the husband. Where
Yeah.
you're like, why don't you know that?
But so there's one thing about his followers, but there's another thing about him himself, and I don't think that he's somebody that would. It's gonna take he lost this time. I don't think he's gonna be like, we're gonna come back and we're gonna be strong again later. I don't think he's the type of person to do that.
I think if he gets to elude all the lawsuits that he has on his back, he's really strong for the
I hear
Republican
noises,
Party.
The door's open.
Yeah, so but I think so. I wouldn't be surprised. He has a lot of immunity.
Anyway,
You don't like talking about it either?
I don't know. I really don't care about politics.
I do, because I'm brown and my daughter's brown. Yeah.
What's your
We're
last
done.
thing on the list, man? Let's wrap this podcast up. This is the longest podcast we've made.
Yeah.
Hey, can you fit?
I'm fat. So.
We'll suck it in.
Christmas and New Year's, what's your guys' plan?
I don't have any plans.
You know, celebrate with your family?
I mean, I'll celebrate with my family. I just, I don't have any plans. I don't know what you mean by that.
Are you gonna party with your parents or your brother?
My brother and my dad are leaving on Christmas Day to go to a bowling tournament in Las Vegas.
Oh,
and
you guys celebrate the 25th, like the morning, gotcha.
So on Christmas Day, they're leaving, and they'll be back on New Year's Eve. So they'll be gone for a good portion of things.
Why are you not going with them?
So I don't want to risk COVID. And also, going to a bowling tournament is the most boring thing you can ever do in your entire
real?
life. It's so like the person you're watching bowls typically, traditionally, I'm like, I don't know how the rules are with COVID. I haven't been to a tournament, but traditionally, it's 5 people to a lane or like 3 or 4 people to a lane, and they take turns. And so you get to watch them, get up there and throw the ball, but then like it's people you don't care about, so you're just like kind of sitting around, and then maybe they bowl a little bit more, and then you're like, okay. So overall, and they bowl at least like 3+ games, like 3 is the minimum. So they can bowl like 10 games. They bowl all day, and after a while, it's just exhausting.
It's monotonous. It's very monotonous.
It's different when you're actually the person bowling. Even when you're the person bowling, though, it's hard to
Wait, are your
stay
dad and brother
focused.
competing?
No, my brother's the only one competing.
Oh, your
My dad's
there
just
to
going
support?
there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to support your brother, huh?
I'll support him from Washington.
Yay, brother.
Woohoo!
I'm not doing anything for Christmas, really. I want to avoid humans as much as possible.
Last Christmas,
Simply.
gave you my
Plus,
heart,
my
and
parents
the
the
very
very
next
next
aren't
day,
day,
here,
you
so
gave it away.
you know why celebrate something when your parents aren't here? I'm not traveling down there, and I don't. And the COVID thing, I don't want to risk.
Oh, that's lonely.
No, it's not. I'm cool with it. I don't celebrate, or Christmas celebration is not as meaningful as you get older from my perspective as it was when I was a kid. There's no magic anymore because I'm not a kid and I don't have kids.
Oh, I always like Christmas time.
And it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like Christmas anymore. In America, Christmas is very different than European Christmas. European Christmas is a magical period because it's winter time. They don't celebrate just Christmas, and they don't put out their decorations the day after Halloween. You know, it's like it slowly builds, and everybody's just in this like feeling. You can feel Christmas when you walk through like Europe, as opposed to America, where everyone's all about the great old dollar. It's all about the dollar.
Oh, I like spending time with family.
Like they kind of put Christ in Christmas still in Europe, and I'm not even religious, but it's still it's nice to have that feeling sometimes.
It did. Well, I'm doing it with my wife and the in-laws. Like a little. We celebrate the 24th.
Of course,
So on Christmas
You
Eve.
should guys practice that.
you're doing the Navidad.
I should practice that? Why?
It's fun. You party all evening and open gifts at midnight.
Oh, I've never know. What my family's always done is we open a gift on Christmas Eve, and it's always pajamas every
Yeah.
single time. And then you go to bed, and then my dad will wake me up at 6 a.m, and we will open gifts then. And then at 8 o'clock, I will go back to sleep because
Oh,
I was
man.
woken up at 6 a.m.
See, because when you open them at midnight, you get to enjoy them the next day.
See,
You can also do that if you
but
open them Christmas morning.
we always did the, one present, and then, right, or the present and the stockings, and then the gifts the next day. That was our thing. And then when I was married, we did the gifts from the families on Christmas Eve, and then the gifts to each other on Christmas Day. So you kind of alter your tradition, in every generation will.
Yeah, I think I've
do
done
that.
that before. I've visited family on Christmas Eve, and we opened gifts then from them, and then the next day we opened like our family gifts on Christmas
Well,
Day.
last year we went to Mexico and we did Secret Santa because it's a lot of people. Man.
That's fun. I love doing Secret Santa.
Yeah, we did Secret Santa this year with her sisters
Mm-hmm.
from her mom's side. So it's pretty cool.
Too bad there's only 3 of us.
Yeah.
We can't play
Not
Secret
very
Santa.
secret.
Like, I wonder who has me. There's 2 options.
Yeah.
And for New Year's, you do like
I
the
don't have any
grapes and do a
plans.
little party.
I don't know.
So for a long time when I was growing up, I would go to my grandmother's house because my parents got married on Christmas or on New Year's Eve. They got married on New Year's Eve. So normally they would go and do something together, and I would go to my grandmother's house for the day and the night. But as we've gotten older, I haven't really done a whole lot. Last year I think I hung out with some friends,
Oh man,
but
I don't know.
I think y'all should get together for New Year's.
New Year's is New Year's.
What are we supposed to do on New Year's?
You just party, like watch movies or play board games and drink wine and eat the 12 grapes before midnight.
What is the 12 grapes? I've never heard of that.
You eat a grape, and for each grape you have like either a wish or a resolution in
You
your own
just
head.
say it
though.
out. Oh, you say it in
Or
song. No, I'm saying like you eat the grape and you're like, I wish for.
no, you in
New
your
Year.
head. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
like, I think it's like a Spanish culture thing.
Oh, is it?
Or maybe just European in general. Mexicans still do it. I don't know if we'll do it. It's a lot of grapes, man.
It's
It's
12
12.
grapes. It's
It's
not very
a
many
lot.
grapes.
That's a handful of grapes.
No, you have to eat it in the minute of 59 to 12.
She had to eat 12 grapes in 1 minute. That's still
I
not
eat
hard.
slow, man. I savor my food.
So can you just do 2 at once and then make 2 wishes?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and then you do like the wearing different type of underwear color.
What?
Yeah, like yellow means prosperity, green money, red love.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's just little like traditions.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
Do you
Funk.
own yellow underwear? Because I don't own yellow underwear.
I have
bananas.
Batman underwear.
Oh, I guess that counts.
It's like shaped like, or like it's mostly black with like yellow
Oh, the
lines or whatever. So it's
yeah.
like I call it Batman underwear. You know,
see.
Oh,
that
so
would
it's not.
count.
I thought it was actually Batman underwear.
No.
I'd be like, that's kind of cool.
No.
I will count it because he has yellow, but you can do multiple colors too. To be like,
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
interesting.
well, what if you're just naked?
Then
What does that mean?
that means you're happy and you don't need anything.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, hey, thanks to all the Patreons for
Yes.
supporting us and keeping this podcast
Oh.
alive.
all of our GoPros died.
Yep.
This was the world's longest podcast.
Oh, I forgot to mention tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'm filming, with the help of Aristotle, the first episode of Letters to Malou.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh,
look
it's the
at you.
introduction and
What do
pretty
you have
much.
planned? Like, what are you gonna do?
So
Like,
pretty
what type
much
of filming.
for filming, I'm gonna have Aristotle film me as I talk, walk into the first location I visited here when I got here from the military. Because I'm gonna
And
talk
where
about.
was that?
It's in DuPont.
Mm-hmm.
No, Steilacoom,
Okay.
Washington, which is Liquid's armpit.
Liquid's armpit.
Well, sexy armpit. It's like
Your
fancy.
sexy armpit.
Steilacoom is a nice area.
It's
Don't let
nice.
him talk shit.
No, on the
Steilacoom
map.
is nice.
On the map.
Sexy armpit? What the fuck is a sexy armpit?
Oh, there's people with fetishes.
Oh god.
And it was just like 2 miles from my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I walked there, and there's just this little park that looks onto the bay and the ferry, and yeah, and then obviously I'm use Jay's green screen that I still have.
You have his green screen?
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
had
want
it
it
for
back.
he's had it for 2 years.
I was like, hey, you
Ah.
want your green screen? You're like, nah, just leave it here.
I never said that. I said, oh, whenever you can get it to me, and then he keeps going, oh, I forgot your green screen, and I say, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I don't say just go ahead and keep it. I just say it's not a big deal that you forgot it. I'm
Yeah.
not really stressed over a green screen.
I may use it or I may not, but it's pretty much the first episode is about where I came from and
Mm-hmm.
where I am now.
Well, that's cool. I hope good luck with that filming.
Yeah, I get to use my wireless lapel.
Nice.
Yeah, and I get to work with a great Chicago filmmaker from Hong Kong.
That's Hong Kong
Hong
Chicano. Chicana Kong. Hey, remind him too. You still want to do
Ah.
haiku with kaiku.
Haiku Kaiku. I'll let him know.
He's just gonna roll his eyes and be like, yeah, sure.
He'll be like,
Well, he will.
Sir, may you please say your phrase?
I'm going to say the phrase here in a minute. But I also want to give a shout out to a certain Patreon who, not going to name any names, but recommended a really bad movie for us to watch.
Oh, do we have questions or?
Last I
No,
looked,
I didn't see any AMAs.
But we do have a new film suggestion to watch.
Oh,
What is it?
I think it was Frankenstein.
Which one?
There's
I don't
so
know.
many
I'd have
of
to look
those.
again.
So
Okay. So
But we have a recommendation noted to the person who gave it to us. We will review that for the next podcast.
yeah, so Frankenstein will be the first review of the next year,
yes.
Yes.
along with another movie, but we
But
don't know.
what I want, since it's been recommended to us to watch Frankenstein, I challenge that said Patreon and all you other ones to watch a movie during the holidays. It's a really good movie, in my opinion, and I think everybody would probably walk away from it with something. Is called An Affair to Remember.
Okay.
Cool. I just realized I looked at this camera and it's off.
I know you've been gesturing to it, but it's dead.
But yeah, so wrapping this up, I would say to everybody that please have a great, warm, and happy holiday and happy Christmas.
Safe.
And while you're in the middle of all your holiday cheer, do not, I repeat, do not cook bacon naked.
Don't you dare.
I'm Abby.
Oh my God. Yeah, happy holidays. This is the Random Whisper.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
And the very next day, you gave it away.
This year,